Nigerian army has come out on the other side to state that Gana was killed during an exchange of gunfire at a roadblock mounted by the army along Terwase Makurdi-Gboko Road, with other members of his gang arrested and a large cache of arms recovered in the process of that operation. This stance taken by the Nigerian army has been questioned in several quarters as not reflecting the reality on the ground, and indeed a case of extrajudicial killing, which is a gross violation of human rights. Our investigation. The Coalition of Human Rights in Nigeria consequently launched an investigative probe of the incident to unravel the circumstances that led to the death of Terwase Akwaza, aka Gana. We relied on information provided by eyewitnesses and other locals in the area of the incident. We also aggregated the eyewitness views of local vigilante groups operating within that area in the attempt to have an objective and balanced judgment. The opinions of some political actors were also aggregated to form a background to the amnesty program initiated by the state government. Our findings. We were able to gather from credible sources that indeed there was a shootout between Gana and his boys in an entourage of about 20 vehicles driving dangerously along the Makurdi-Gboko Road when they were accosted by troops from the 4th Special Forces Command in Nasarawa State, who had mounted a spontaneous roadblock along, acting on intelligence on the movement of a large convoy with sporadic shootings. From the information gathered, it was indeed revealed that the late Gana, who was sitting on top of one of the vehicles, opened fire at the military checkpoint, and at that point there was pandemonium and sounds of gunshots rented the air. The convoy of Gana rammed into the military checkpoint after the soldiers took cover and returned gun exchanges with the group. It was also gathered that the identity of Gana was not initially ascertained, not until he was neutralized that his identity was confirmed. By then, he had sustained gun wounds that ultimately led to his death. From our preliminary findings, it was gathered that the state governor kept the movement of Gana and his gang from the Nigerian army troops, and this indeed caused a communication gap between them and the army, which acted on intelligence of the movement of the large cache of arms already and mounted a roadblock as a waiting strategy. It was discovered that it was when news reached the governor that he made frantic efforts to reach the military commanders in the state, informing them that Gana was his guest and that he was on his way to Makurdi to surrender for the amnesty program of the state government. It was at this point the governor was informed that there had been a shootout with Gana and his team members, and he sustained gunshot injuries. We gathered that the governor was furious and consequently called for a press conference alleging that the Nigerian army killed Gana despite having knowledge of his movement from his base to Makurdi, the state capital. Our position. After an extensive probe of the incident that led to the death of Terwase Akwaza, aka Gana, we indeed state that there was a communication gap between the state government and the Nigerian army in operation between Benue and Taraba axis. This could be a function of two things. One, possibility that the state government deliberately left the Nigerian army out of the amnesty process, or it was an oversight. Consequently, it is our position that a case of extrajudicial killing cannot, and we repeat, cannot be established when all available facts point to the fact that the late Terwase Akwaza, at the time of his death, was in possession of arms, firearms of immeasurable proportion. It is also our considered view that the movement of such a cache of firearms should ordinarily attract the attention of the security operatives. If indeed the said Gana was on his way to embrace the amnesty program of the state government, It is curious that there was no security escort in his convoy and with such weapons at his disposal. The fact was established that the convoy of Ghana moved at neck-breaking speed occasioned by sporadic gunshots in an area that is experiencing pockets of insecurity is most despicable and should give the relevant security agencies a cause to act and promptly. 2. It therefore does not hold water to state that he was killed extrajudicially, as there was an established case of threat to from the very Ghana and his group, and the response from the Nigerian army eventually led to his death. There's nothing else that they could have done other than to defend themselves. Recommendations. The coalition of human rights groups in Nigeria, as a result of the foregoing, hereby make the following recommendations. 1, that to forestall such incidences in the future, the state government must desist from initiating or implementing amnesty programs. 2, that state government who are so granted such approvals must relinquish the implementation to the security agencies. 3, state governments must at all times ensure seamless communication channels with the security agencies to avoid occurrences of this nature in the future.